Starting to go live. So, do a quick introduction. I guess I first have to say, if y'all came here to watch Joanne Street, um, y- sorry, I'm covering for her. I'm going to do the best that I possibly can, which was never going to be good enough because she's one of the greatest. But my
Joanne.
name is Daniel Warrilow. I work for Campari America as well. I work on the Italian portfolio. But today, we're actually going to have a fun little session here that is sponsored by Wild Turkey. And fun fact, Rare Breed Boulevardiers are my favorite cocktail. So I kind of feel like confident in doing this, representing the family, the Russells, because they're some of my favorite people too. So everybody, thanks for joining. We have a very special guest today. JNai Williams gonna speak to us on things that I definitely need a lot of work on. I think especially when we're talking about engaging, interacting, creating new revenue streams. These are things that we could all use a little bit of help on. So I'm just going to say thanks. I'm gonna be back here in the cut, listening for questions, waiting for anybody that needs as much information as I do. So I'm gonna hand over to JNai. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, Daniel. First and foremost, I just want to say hello. Thank you for coming. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for believing that I have information that you actually want to hear. um, so yeah, this is 0 to 100 followers. How to successfully start a YouTube channel and a website for profit. I do want to start by saying that I am not an expert on any of those things by any means. I consider myself a hobbyist, I would say. I'm just actively trying to turn my hobby into a side hustle, and it's a work in progress. Learning as I go. I started off slow. I'm still a little slow, but I'm ramping up and finally seeing some you know some things happening, which is great. What else did I want to say before we start? Yeah, so I am. Last night I tried to run through this class and see how long it would take me, but I was like on slide 16 and hour in. So forgive me if I kind of cut myself short. I want to make sure that we cover all the information in a good amount of time, and I don't want y'all sitting here all day listening to my life story. But a little background about me is I'm JNai Williams. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I have been in the service industry since 2010, so 10 years. I've been bartending for 8 years. I would say I have been a craft cocktail bartender since about 2017. Um, I started my first blog after quitting a toxic work environment in 2015. I took a month off and I decided to start blogging about natural hair. I went natural in 2012, and if you don't know what that means, is I basically cut off all my chemically treated hair, my chemically straightened hair, and started to grow out this beautiful mane that I have now. And when I did that, I just was really into it. I was doing all kinds of new hairstyles, using all these new products, and people would literally ask me, like, "What are you doing? What products are you using? Where did you get that head wrap from?" So to answer all those questions, I decided to start a blog about it. And it didn't bomb, but it didn't make no money. So this time around, I was like, sis, we need to make this, we need to get this money. So I made a decision to start investing in myself and doing the research that I need to do, and it has been beneficial so far. So on the next slide, I just want to do a comparison at my past and my present. So my first attempt at blogging, I had a blog called The Natural in the City. So some stats for that were my website had about 1,000 viewers a day, which is pretty good. I had gained over 100 followers on YouTube with 2 videos, which is still pretty good, even though that was over a 5-year period. And one video I posted in 2017 has over 20,000 views. We will talk about that later. I gained over 2,000 likes on my Facebook page, which is pretty good. I gained around 650 followers on Instagram, which is pretty good. And I want to say that my follower to following ratio at that time was about 2 to 1. So that's pretty good Instagram statistics, I guess, for someone under $1,000. And I gained over 300 followers on Pinterest. Now, a thing about Pinterest, I know some of you are probably like, don't nobody care about Pinterest? And that's true. Like, a lot of people don't care about Pinterest, but Pinterest is important when it comes to building a website, and we will talk a lot about that later. And the last thing about that is I made almost no revenue. I didn't make no money. I made like maybe $5. Like, when you start using affiliate links, like, I made the $5, like, yay, you started. Here's $5. I didn't make no money. And these are not bad stats for a website. Now, these are not from the beginning. I would say I accumulated these stats over a 3-year period, because I maintained that website for about 3 years on and off. So let's go to today. My new website is called Everyday Today, or my new website and YouTube is called Everyday JNai. My website has, and mind you, I want you to compare these side by side, which is why I put them this way. My website has 186 views since mid-May total, as of August 30th, I believe. That's about 2 page views a day. I legacied my Instagram and my Facebook pages, basically meaning that instead of creating brand new Instagram and Facebooks, I just renamed them and rebranded them. Since then, I have gained approximately 15 Facebook likes and follows. Instagram is inconclusive because I've lost and gained a lot of followers since then. As of September 1st, I have gained 35 new followers on YouTube with only 5 new videos. Not too bad. And my most watched video since May has over 4,000 views. Now, the question that you all are probably thinking, like, how much money did I actually make? And if we move to the next slide, you will realize that I didn't really make that much, but it's better than nothing, right? It is better than nothing.
That's true.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is what I have made in a 4-month period. And like I said, I am $67 richer. So boom, I did it.
I mean, it's $62 more than the last time, so that's great.
Thank you. Exactly. So this is the revenue that I made from 5 YouTube videos and 7 blog articles. And I show you this to come up to 2 points. So I want to talk about my time available and just kind of where I started. So yes, I've posted YouTube videos before. Yes, I've blogged. I've had a website before, but I haven't uploaded a YouTube video in 3 years. I haven't written a blog post in 2 years. I am not starting from the beginning, but I'm not far from that. And for me to accomplish this in 4 months, I think it's pretty good. You know, from going 3 years without making no money to going 4 months to, you know, making some kind of revenue. And if you look at the chart, you'll see that when I started the blog in May, I didn't really make much. I definitely didn't make anything in June, but there's a big jump from July, and it's increasing in August. So I'm expecting another increase this month as well. And the difference between, you know, that time is I realized what my mistakes were and I corrected them. And then in me correcting my mistakes and after doing the research, it obviously worked. I started doing what I need to do and making the right steps. And the second point that I wanted to make is 5 YouTube videos and 7 blog articles is not a lot of content in 4 months, 5 months now, I guess. That's not a lot of stuff. And the reasoning behind that was basically because once quarantine started, I became a full-time mom and a part-time blogger / YouTuber. I was watching my kid 10 to 12 hours a day, and my active work hours were from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. They still are from 10 p.m. to about 3 to 5 a.m. So I would have to get as much work as possible done in that time frame until my kid woke up, you know, the next morning. And that allowed for, you know, no sleep and a lot of inconsistent work. And I said all that to say this: if you are good about creating a schedule and keeping yourself consistent and holding yourself accountable, if you have a lot more time during the day than I did or I do, you could double or triple that content and be making double or triple what I'm making right now or what I have to make right now. So this is what I was able to make on my schedule and with the time that I have. You may have more time than I do, so you could be making 10 times more than what I'm making. So let's move on. On the next slide, you will see I took this last night. So as of yesterday, I have made almost $85. And it's what, September 8th, and I'm already like almost halfway to what I made in August. So still, my growth is still growing. You know, I'm still building up. And then when I make more content, that'll be more ways for people to buy money and support me. And so it'll increase even more. And you never know, it might be a bigger jump than it was from June to July, which I'm very excited about. So what changed? So before, I had no real plan. I was just going with the flow. Basically, what I was doing was I was experimenting. Like, okay, this worked for that person who is extremely better and more respected and well known for doing what they do. I'm going to try it. And sometimes it worked. Like before I said I had 2,000 likes on Facebook, that came from one post that went viral. And that's important to remember too, because if you go viral, it can exponentially increase your exposure. So that is great, but it's not something to shoot for. Consistency is key here. I didn't really know how to monetize my content. Like I said before, just going with the flow, just going what I saw other people do. I wasn't really doing research. I was just copying. And most of my success was random and not consistent, like I said. Now I have experience. I've already created a blog before. I've done YouTube videos, so I kind of know what I'm doing already. And now I know how to figure out how to do better. I have a clear plan. I have goals. You know, I know exactly what my website is and well, not exactly. I'm still working on it, but I know what my website is and I know what my YouTube is, and I know what people are going to come to me for on those platforms and what I need to provide to people who come to those platforms. I'm monetizing my content smarter, but it still needs some work. Like I said, I am a work in progress. I am nowhere near an expert. I am a hobbyist. I do this for fun and for profit. But I'm not trying to teach a master class. This is a what JNai knows class. So my end of year goal is to have or add at least one blog article a week to my website. I've been averaging about a blog article a month. And so today, I'm gonna say today, Daniel, I'm doing it today. I'm gonna start with one blog every 2 weeks and then grow to one a week once I feel comfortable. And then I'm going to also try to post at least 3 YouTube videos a month, and start with every 2 weeks. And it's the same thing with my blogging. I'm averaging like 1 YouTube video a month, which is not really good. So just to say this so we have perspective, most professional bloggers blog 2 to 3 times a week. Most professional YouTubers blog 2 to 3 times a week. Once a month is not going to cut it if you're trying to gain popularity and make money. And that's just what it is. Consistency is key. And if you write anything down, consistency is key. My ultimate goal is to make 5 Gs by December 31st. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I feel like that is a very lofty goal. But you know what? I believe in myself. You all believe in me too. So we're gonna get that goal. We're gonna get those 5 Gs by Christmas.
I believe in you.
So thank you. I needed that validation. So how am I going to do this? I will show you. So I just I put this slide up because I feel like there might be some people who are like, oh, I already know what I'm going to read about. I already know what I'm going to film. But do you? Because like I thought when I started this blog the second time around, and I started my second blog and my second YouTube, I had thoughts about what I was going to do too, but that's not what happened because I learned some things and then I had to reevaluate. So you might be reevaluating your goals after this. But this class is not just for people who want to blog for profit. That is what we will be focusing on. But this is for anyone who wants to start a blog or a YouTube, because in order to start or in order to blog or film for profit, you have to know what you're doing. So why start a blog? And like I said, people think they might know exactly why they want to start a blog, but liking something is not, especially for profit, liking something is not enough of a reason to start. You have to have goals in order to keep this up, because if you don't have goals, it's going to be like all over the place. because that's how I was with my last one. Like I liked natural hair. I love doing my hair. I'm just gonna write whenever I want to, but I want to make a profit. Didn't work. So this is why I put this up. So the number one reason is to tell your story. You can talk about what you want the way you want without worrying about others' opinions. Your YouTube is your YouTube. Your blog is your blog. You can do whatever you want with it. You know, that is your rented space on the internet. A lot of people do it just to organize their thoughts and learn. And this is something that is kind of the same. This is kind of something that I resonate with. Blogging forces you to teach yourself what you don't know and to articulate what you do know. So if you haven't looked at my website, JNai.com, or my YouTube, Everyday JNai, yet, if you haven't, you should. I talk about tech, or that is at least where I'm going. I talk about tech tips. I talk about Apple products, tech accessories. And I don't know, I've never taken a computer science class before. So a lot of my time is doing research. Before I post anything, I have to research and make sure I know what I'm talking about, because I don't want to give people misinformation. Because if I do, then they're not going to come back to me for that type of content. Another reason is to establish yourself as an authority or validate your expertise. And I feel like this is something good for people who are thinking about starting a cocktail blog to remember. Like, if you are thinking about starting a cocktail blog, first of all, do it. If you're thinking about starting a cocktail YouTube, do it. Have you Googled videos of like cocktail videos on YouTube? They're not that good. They're not. Somebody needs to take over that market, and we will talk about that later too. Blogs are the new business cards. You know, it's so fun to tell people, oh yeah, I do this. I have a blog. You should check out my blog. You should look at my content. It's it's fun, but seriously, they really are, because it establishes you as an authority on what you're talking about. There are a lot of cocktail bloggers who are, authorities, or seen as people of influence in our industry. That's absolutely true. Another way is to create opportunities for yourself. If you need an example, you're at one right here. This is I put it out there, and people were like, hey, this is cool. Can you share it with other people? And we are here now sharing it. So this is a great example of how you can create opportunities for yourself. And it's also to meet people who like the same stuff as you. People comment on YouTube videos all the time, or my videos, talking, just saying things about my video, or just wanting to ask questions. You're building up a community, and that's really great, especially if you don't know a lot of people who like the same things as you. And most importantly for me is to make money. Blogging is great for multiple streams of income, and that is important. Blogging is great for multiple streams of income, which is a financial goal for a lot of people that I know, and it creates passive income. Once you do the work, it's done. Once you put it out there to be seen, you're done, and your money will just come. And that's the best feeling in the world, is knowing that I don't have to clock in and clock out. I clocked in once and I'm done, and then that's just gonna make money. So website versus YouTube blogging. Which is best for you? And again, some of you might be like, well, I want to start a blog, but you might be more inclined to actually start a YouTube, because you might, your skill set might be better fit towards doing YouTube. And for me personally, I love being on camera, but I'm really good at writing blogs. It's something that I can do quick. YouTube videos, I enjoy them, take me a lot of time to do. Website blogs take me like a couple hours and I'm done. So YouTube wins for ease of use and cost. YouTube is very easy to set up. It literally takes like 3 minutes. For websites, you must design them, which takes more time in the beginning, but ultimately it takes less time to keep up. Blogs take a lot less time than YouTube videos. For YouTube videos, you have to outline them, you have to film them, you have to add affiliate links, or however you plan on making money off that YouTube video. And that takes hours. I want to say, I think I heard a YouTuber say one time, it takes, for every minute of film, it takes 1 hour of editing to do, especially for a non-professional. So if you're watching a 15-minute video, that video probably took about 15 hours to do. And I can say from experience that is absolutely true. Like if you go to my YouTube everyday JNai and see my last YouTube video, that video took me a month. It took me a month to post because I had to accumulate all the things that I wanted to talk about in the video, and then I had to outline it, and then I had to edit it, and then I was also implementing some new strategies that I found, but which eventually made me money. So it was worth it, but still, it took me weeks to get that together. So websites did we go over costs? I'm sorry, we didn't go over costs. So YouTube does not cost anything to start. For websites, you have to pay for the domain, the hosting service, and the theme if you so choose. Unfortunately, but that's what it is. So websites win for confidence requirement and ownership. With websites, you only have to captivate your audience with your writing skills. You don't have to post videos or photos of yourself if you don't want to. I'm moving away from that. I don't feel like I have to be the face of my blog to make money. For YouTube, most of the time, you literally have to put yourself on camera, which takes courage. And even if you don't want to be the face, if you don't want to show your face, you might have to, record some voiceovers, which, is it's the same as seeing yourself on camera. It's like, oh, do I really sound like that? Jesus Christ. I sound like a dying bird. This is not cool. Yeah, it's the same thing with video. It's weird. Websites also win for ownership. That is when you buy your own domain, and YouTube is kind of like the same thing, but it's not, because YouTube is on somebody else's website. When you are blogging, you are on your own website. That is your own internet realty. That is yours. When you buy your domain, it's yours. If you want to sell something, you'll need a website to display all of your merchandise. Maybe in the long run, you want to start selling products, which is a great money-making strategy if for blogging and YouTube, selling your own stuff, especially when you start to build up a following. For YouTube, when YouTube crashes, where you put all your content? And I heard somebody say this a long time ago. If Instagram crashes, if we can't use TikTok no more, I'm sure all those people will move to Instagram. But if Instagram also is no more, where are you gonna put all your stuff at? Where's all that content gonna live? You need some sort of like fail safe. And even if you just buy your domain, you don't have to, in the beginning, you don't have to buy all that other stuff. Just secure your domain, and that's all you need. At least in the beginning, especially if you don't plan on using it yet. So which makes more money? Which of the platforms is the most profitable? I think, as for me right now, in kind of like the still starting phases, it's a tie. Results are inconclusive. They both generate similar types of income because they use a similar money-making strategies. Thank you. Okay. My personal take is that I believe the most money that I have made so far is from YouTube, but it's only because YouTube money-making strategy is an easier one to understand. And basically what I mean is that people are going to go to YouTube. So you're basically putting out information to an audience that is already there. When you are starting a blog, people don't know you yet. You have to build up that audience. So it takes a little more time to make that money. But there's also ways to work around that, and we'll talk about that later. Blogging takes a little more work. It's and that's just from the beginning standpoint. Like I said, YouTube takes a lot more time in the long run. Blogging takes a little more work. You have to set up your website. You have to figure out how to use your website. Not everybody knows how to configure a website. I sure didn't in the beginning. It took me forever. And I'm still learning new things and learning. I've started to learn code, all kinds of things just to better the experience and make it easier to produce content. But blogging takes a little more work. They both generate multiple styles of income streams, and those income streams are very similar. So if you are thinking about doing both like me, you won't need to learn two different strategies, or at least that's not true. You won't need to learn two different strategies from two different points of view. They both kind of sell from the same point of view. So the first thing to do, secure your social handles. secure everything that you want that is in the name of the website or YouTube that you want. You need to secure it. Instagram, Facebook page, Pinterest, Twitter, Tumblr, Switch, catch them all. Do everything. Even if you don't plan on doing it, still do it because you never know. You never know what the future is going to hold for you. So we're going to start with YouTube first because I feel like more people have interest in YouTube and it is the most interesting for me. Definitely. So to start YouTube, step one, have a Gmail account. I'm sure all of you have a Gmail account. Step two, go to YouTube, click on the little personal icon to create a channel and answer a few simple questions. It's kind of like just connecting your socials. That's pretty much what they ask you. And then post a video, and then you a YouTube maven now. You did it. Congratulations. You have started your YouTube. So on the next slide, I want to talk about some things that you'll need and just some good things to have when starting a YouTube. And the most important thing is your camera. It is the most important thing, but it's not that important. And what I mean by that, it's not important what kind of camera you use. Do you know how many YouTube videos were shot on iPhones that have hundreds of thousands of views? There are a lot. Spoiler alert. Do you know how many movies were shot on iPhones? A few. Do the Google search if you need to. If you do not have money for a camera, use your phone. If my camera broke today, first thing I do, how to film a good YouTube video on your phone. That's the first thing I'm searching because iPhones are great. And in some ways they're better than using, fancy cameras because the settings are a lot more intuitive and a lot easier to use, especially for someone who doesn't know how to use a camera. And trust me, if you have never used a professional camera before, it's going to take you a while to learn all the settings and stuff. And each camera is different. So save yourself the time and start using your phone. So I am at the intermediate level. I use a mirrorless camera. I guess I'll show you since it's right here. I use a Canon M50, which is a very popular YouTube camera. And basically how these cameras are a step up, you can change the lenses. They're super portable too. Like I'll show you, sorry. I don't want to take up too much time because there's so much we have to talk about. Yeah, so this is my camera. It's not super big. And the reason my old camera, the first camera I started with my YouTube channel with was similar to this one. And the reason I like these smaller cameras is because I don't want to buy more than one camera, at least not right now. I use this for everything. I use this for vacation, pictures, for YouTube, any type of content. But I also keep in mind that I also take a lot of pictures and things with my phone. So it's kind of interchangeable for me. But you don't need this. You don't. And I honestly, I barely still know. I'm still learning how to use this, which takes up more time. I could be producing content in that time, but I'm bougie, apparently. So yeah, good point and shoot cameras too. Those are great. I would look for one with a flip out screen. So this one has a flip out screen so you can see yourself. My old camera did not have that. That's why I upgraded to this one. That's very important. You also want one that has attachments for for lights and mics in the future if you don't plan on using that from the beginning. Just to finish this out, advanced cameras are film grade cameras, DSLR cameras. You definitely don't need this camera, but if you've ever watched a YouTube video and are like, man, that camera quality is really good, it's because they're using these fancy cameras with fancy lenses. And the main good thing about these cameras is that it makes making quality content easier. That's it. You don't have to learn a bunch of tricks and tips to make these things make great content. That's the biggest difference I want to say. So the next thing that is good to have is lighting for sure. I am definitely a big fan of natural light. Like I said before, a lot of my work is done from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. So when I'm shooting YouTube videos, I'm shooting at night. There's no natural light there. So I usually use a ring light as is shown. Right now, I just bought these a few days ago. I'm using these like little lights to kind of, because it's overcast right now, using these little lights to give me better lighting. And this might be a good time to plug in my page. So I made a page on my website for you guys. It's everydayjanae.com/0 to 100, 0 the word, 100 the number, and it is this on steroids basically. Just there was so much information to give you guys and tell you guys that I couldn't put it into this class. Like I don't even think we're halfway done, and it's already 1:30. So there's if you want to follow along with that or wait till later, that's perfectly fine. But there's all of this information and more. So head over there to see some more camera suggestions, some more lighting suggestions. It's really good. I took a lot of time to make it, so I would appreciate it if you just give it a look. So the next thing is a tripod. A tripod is essential to filming hands-free. This isn't super important, so I'm gonna speed by this, but there's GorillaPod is a really good tripod for your table. And tripods are not that expensive, thank goodness. There are expensive ones, but you don't need an expensive one to start out. Like these are the ones that I have. I use an Amazon Basics tripod that's $25. There's a cheaper one that's about a few centimeters shorter for half the price. And that it's also on that extras page on my website. So another good thing is an external mic to have, and you can also use an external mic with your phone. What I do is for my videos, when I do voiceovers, I will literally use my phone with my, I don't know how to pronounce it, my lavalier mic. I would plug that in my phone and do my voiceovers using my phone. And it comes out great, or at least I think it does. It comes, it's good quality, even as good if I were to use it on the camera. But it's definitely better to use a mic than your camera sound or your camera mic. And a good tip for saving money on the next slide is to buy a camera or buy camera and phone video kits to save money. So there's a lot of kits on Amazon, and even from like the big box sellers, like Best Buy has a lot of Canon camera creator kits. If you're using your phone, you can buy a bunch of things to make your like the process of making your video a lot easier. I definitely recommend doing this to save money. And some miscellaneous things that you might need. Something that people don't think about a lot is the background in your video. So if you're filming at night or you're filming in very dark light, you need some type of lighting behind you to kind of like separate you from the background. And a good way that a lot of YouTubers do this is buying, just like neon lights or like string curtain lights to put behind them. Sound absorption wall panels are really good for people who live in loud environments and need to make it a little bit quieter. That's a good thing to watch YouTube videos on too, just to see how it works. I have a problem. Or one of my issues is color correcting on my videos. So white balance cards, you use it with your camera. You can use it pre or post shooting. And basically what it does is it color corrects your videos so they're not too blue or too yellow. So how to edit without breaking the bank. So let's go do a quick overview of the most popular editing programs on Mac. It's Final Cut Pro X, which is $300. And I don't know about you, but I don't have $300 to spend on editing software right now. And the add-ons cost extra. And knowing me, I like to make my process as easy as possible. So I'm going to get those add-ons for the extra stuff. And I definitely don't have $400 to spend right now. Adobe Premiere Pro is the most popular on PCs. It's more expensive over time. It's $24 a month with an annual plan. And there's other more expensive plans, or $52 a month for the whole Creative Cloud, which includes like Photoshop and Lightroom, which is not free on computers, I believe. You don't need to spend that. You don't. There is definitely ways to work around that. So these are on the next slide. These are the most popular editing alternatives for computers. I'm not going to dive too much into these because they're on that 0 to 100 extras page on my website. So you can look at specifics on these there. But the main difference between these and the most popular and the other editing programs that we'll talk about is the ease of use. Same thing with the cameras. The more expensive, the easier it is to use. With the less expensive or free programs to edit, you're going to be doing a lot of tricks to make to do the same thing on those more expensive programs. It's doable. You can make quality content using free to minimal cost editing programs. You'll just need to do the research on how to do it. And also, it's just about watching videos, you know, in your niche, seeing how other people do it. That's how I figured out how to do a lot of my things. I would try to replicate things that other people did. Like, for example, just a quick example, like I didn't like how my text bubbles were looking. So I realized that in other tech videos that people were doing, they would give their like text bubbles different like animations. And I was starting to like give my text bubbles different animations or animate them differently, and it looks a lot better. Still a work in progress, but that's just an example. So some editing alternative for tablets and phones. So I do all of my editing on my iPad Pro, and I use an app called LumaFusion. It does cost $30, but it was the best $30 I ever spent. It can support 4K editing. It's super intuitive. I feel like it's a lot better than iMovie in my opinion. So if you can afford LumaFusion and you are using your phone or an iPad, I definitely recommend it. And these are some other editing programs. And the main thing about phone editing programs that I think is essential is that they all can be used for different things. I've seen InShot used a lot on YouTube. And the best thing about InShot is that it has a lot of filters, a lot of like animated stickers. It's really good for kind of like intros too. There's a lot of like teens and young people doing like these amazing YouTube intros all on their phone. I spent hours watching just, you know, a 15-year-old make all of these intros using like a bunch of phone apps. It is amazing, you know, the ingenuity that these kids have. I did not have an Android, but these are some programs that were highly recommended. And then honorable mention are Magisto and Spark Video. A word on clips. Some of these programs are good for just making like quick Instagram or social media posts. So that's a thing too. If you need something quick and easy to make a social media post, these are great. So one tip I have is there are lots of free video effects on YouTube. The way I learned to use my editing software is through YouTube. I just Googled it, and they have great tutorials. I'm sure every app has great tutorials. You can just literally Google like YouTube intro, YouTube end card, how to do this, how to do that. YouTube is great for that. YouTube is great for teaching people things. And that's the thing to remember. If you plan on teaching people how to do things, YouTube may be a great option for you. Yeah, you can learn how to do green screen, and I actually plugged in my favorite green screen options on my page on my website. You can create moving graphics in your videos. You can find a like and subscribe animation. I don't know if you've ever seen that on YouTube videos, but there's actually people who make those and give them to you for free on YouTube. Find tutorials on how to make effects and free editing apps like I do. So easy to find these things. So my recommendation is to watch YouTube videos in your niche and take notes. That's what I do. Try to replicate them as much as you can, or even copy it. But one thing on copying is you never want to try to be somebody who's doing exponentially better than you at first, because you will not get seen as much as they will. So you need to try to compete with people who have the same follower count as you do, or videos that are super old. That's something that I'll touch on later. But don't try to compete with the bigwigs, because you're not going to win. So on the next slide, best tools for thumbnail and artwork. I make all of my thumbnails for my blog and my YouTube through Canva. Canva is great. They have an app, and they also have a website. Can't recommend any higher. That is the best. I use Lightroom for editing my photos. Lightroom is free on iPhones. I think they're free on all mobile devices. They're not free on my computer though, so I can't edit them on my computer. If you are looking to make your Instagram or your blog more professional looking, I definitely recommend investing in some presets, because that way you can kind of create a theme for your photos on your websites. And that's something, especially for Instagram, that's something that you want to do. Like when you are curating your Instagram, you want people to keep scrolling through your things so they can click more things on your Instagram, and even for your website. When it's visibly appealing, it makes people I don't know the word I'm looking for. People, the watch time is better. That's something that you say for YouTube videos. When you're making YouTube videos, you want to do everything that you can to make sure people stay on your either YouTube channel page, or they watch as many of your YouTube videos as possible. The same with social media. You want people to scroll through all of your things, not just the one thing that they clicked on. So how to make money on YouTube, which is the reason why I feel most of us are here. And the keyword for that is multiple streams of revenue. So the number one way to make money on YouTube is YouTube AdSense. But it's not hard, but it takes time to get YouTube AdSense on your videos. You can make money when people watch the ads or buy something from the ads on your videos, but you won't see any profit until you have high traffic. You need to have 1,000 subscribers, and you need to have 4,000 watch hours in a year. I don't know if these are mutually exclusive or you have to hit one or the other, but that's the rules. And I definitely don't have 1,000 subscribers, so I ain't getting no AdSense money right now. The number two way is affiliate marketing. Marketing is the easiest way to start making a profit fast. And this is the only way that I'm making money right now. I only use Amazon affiliates. That is the only thing that I know how to use the best. And what you saw those diagrams earlier, that was from the Amazon affiliate website. That's all the money that Amazon has paid me. But there are a lot of really great affiliate programs to enter in. These are a few that I know. I have a lot more on my website page, but these are some popular ones like Amazon, Target, Walmart. And I don't know about you, but I shop at all three of those places. So might as well try to make some money, or some of that money back. You know what I mean? Dick's Sporting Goods is another one. And along with individual affiliate partners, there's also affiliate directories, which are websites that basically represent a bunch of affiliate partners. And you can find them all in one place. Skimlinks is another one that I know about, but I haven't started using. I think on my next blog post, I'll start using it. But basically, it monetizes all the links that aren't single affiliate links on your website. If you use WordPress for your blog, there is a plugin, and they will automatically affiliate all of your links. Because I know there are a bunch of things that I could not put or I could not find on Amazon that I had to just put the regular website and not make money from those sales. So Skimlinks makes sure that if it's possible, I get money from those websites. And there are so many. Our Style and Shop Style Collective are really popular with style bloggers. So if you're thinking about starting a style blog, those are some great ones to start with. And then browser extensions make a lot of money too. I don't know about you, but I've been seeing a lot of browser extension ads on my YouTube videos. When I watch YouTube videos, I've seen a lot of WikiBuy videos. I've heard of a lot of website bloggers on YouTube talking about Rakuten. Rakuten pays really well. So on the next slide, it's kind of like a snapshot of all the things that have made me money off of Amazon. And I definitely did not advertise Lysol toilet bowl cleaner on my website or my YouTube. But I forgot what the technical term for this is. But basically what happens is people click on your link. They don't buy the stuff that you send them for, but they buy something else, and that still makes you money. Like how great is that? Also, I don't know if you knew this, but household products make great money online. If you wanted to start a mom blog talking about like these are the products that I use to clean up my kids' mess, do it, sis, because you gonna make some money, I swear. I mean, people do grocery shopping online, right? People do a lot of research on household products. You can be the one to provide that information. Okay, so the next way to make money is becoming a brand ambassador, which I have done before with my hair blog. It's great for Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can get deals to create sponsored videos on your YouTube, and you can get a fee, percentage of sales, or both. Those are just the ones I know about. There's probably other stuff too that you can, or kind of deals that you can strike with these companies. My number one tip for this is to ask and you shall receive. You do not have to have a large following to get a brand deal. You do not. Don't believe. I've took a couple of Instagram classes and they're like, oh, you have to have 3,000 followers and you got to be posting content every day. No, you don't. You just got to ask. There was one time in particular where I was going on vacation and I needed hair products. So I went to this hair company that was really small and I was like, hey, will you give me some hair products if I post you like a promotional video and, post you a couple of posts on Instagram? And they were like, sure. And I got free hair products for my vacation. So it's not hard. You just have to be willing to put yourself out there. And this is something that I need to remember because I have not done that yet. And I don't have any more money to buy any more tech accessories. So I'm definitely going to be asking some companies to send me some stuff to review. The number 4 way is selling your own merchandise. And this, I want to say this is the pro way. This is, I don't want to say it's something that you do after you have a following, but it's definitely something that takes a little time to do. You can have links on your video watch pages that show your merchandise as well, as in the example. Like I watch, it came from a box. They do tech unboxings on theirs, and then they have merchandise. And I don't know how much money they make from it, but you can do that. Also on your website, digital products are great as well. And do I talk about that later? I'm sorry, guys. No, I don't. But digital products, I'll talk about it when we talk about websites. Digital products on your website are a great money-making strategy because once you create them, you're done and you just have to promote them. Passive income again. The next way is through streaming. I don't stream, but I've seen people post their Twitch videos on YouTube for extra income, which I think is super smart. You can live stream anything. So you live stream, you playing your video games, or building something or making something, and then you post it on YouTube for more views. There's a guy called Teha Types who builds mechanical keyboards. He'll live stream himself building keyboards, and then he'll post a live stream on YouTube to create extra money, which I think is so smart. And then if that's not what your channel is about, or you don't think that people that are going to your channel want that can segue you into another channel, and I feel like that channel would be easy to maintain because all you're doing is posting something that you've already created. And this is the one that I know very little about because it's not something that I do. Another way is Patreon. I know a few people who do Patreon, but it basically gives people backstage access to your process, or it could give people, first access to your process or your products. You can tell people on your Patreon about it and be, hey, if you support me on Patreon, you can get all this extra information, or you can get it first. You can show your editing process or just a day in your life, and people subscribe to your content monthly. I subscribe to a couple of Patreon. Shout out to Trinette. So let's move on to website blogging, which is easy but very, very time consuming. So just some reasons why you might want to choose a paid blog. There are free blogging platforms, and we'll talk about that as well. But if you want to make long-term money, you need your own domain. If you violate the terms of the hosting website, they can take down your site. So all your content will be gone, and you can't do nothing about it. That's not true. You can do something about it, but listen, the process is going to take a lot longer. Some ad programs won't accept you. Some ad programs only want people who host their own domains. That's just what it is. Free platforms are good if you just want to try out blogging, but you can't. You can seriously start making money from the beginning if you invest in your site. Me as the example. Excuse me. Design options are limited on free sites. When you own your own domain, you can design that website any way you want. When you are borrowing, I should say, a domain from a free website, you are playing by their rules. So you have to design your website around their limitations. Sometimes you can convert your free site into a paid domain, and this is what I did. When I started my first blog, The Natural in the City, excuse me, I had a free blog, and then I was like, okay, well, I want to make money off of this. So then I converted it. And when I tell you that process was just painstaking, it took about a week, and I had to do a lot of it myself. And I don't know that much about like, coding and all that stuff. And it was really hard. So yeah, avoid that if you can. So how to create a blog. So step one is figuring out your content slash niche. And this is important. You need to figure this out before you start your blog. You don't want to start blogging and be like, okay, well, I like this, and that. So I'm just going to blog about this, and that. No, that's not going to work. Your website and even your YouTube needs to be specific. You need to be talking about specific things, because when people come to your website, they want to come to find out more information about the thing that originally brought them there. And that's very important. If you are doing a lifestyle blog and you're talking about a bunch of lifestyle things, that's okay. But it needs to be about lifestyle consistently. You don't want to start talking about things that are off topic, because people, the point is to be an authority on one thing. You want to be an authority on one thing, and that one thing might be broad. I follow somebody who does their niche is content creation. So they talk about cameras and they talk about ways to make money, but that's literally all they talk about. If it's not dealing with being a better YouTuber, they're not talking about it. So you want to buy your domain as a second thing, which is optional because you can do a free site. It can be directly from a hosting site, which is the place that hosts your website. In order to have a website, you need somebody to host it for you. Then you choose the web hosting service after you buy your domain. Choose website builder or blogging program. I use WordPress, and Bluehost is my hosting site. And step 5 is to design your website. And basically what I mean is I meant what I said, because you don't really need to design your website. Once you kind of make your website live, it is on like a generic blogging kind of like template. So if you don't want to design it, you don't have to. And we'll talk about this in a second. It's not absolutely necessary. And then step 6, start blogging. Super easy. It takes about 3 hours. It is not easy if you've never done it before. I'm sorry. I'm coming from a kind of experience perspective, but it's blogging is fun. It's a learning process, a lot more than YouTube is, but trust me, it's well worth it. So these are some website hosting services. I use Bluehost. It's best for beginners. It's easy to set up and use. They have great customer service, and you can pay for SEO tools. SEO stands for search engine optimization. We will talk about that a little bit later. There are a lot of other options, even more than the 3 that I posted, and they are all on my extras page. So go over there to see more options that you can choose from. So on the next slide, I just wanted to show you a little bit about how much I spent to start my website. And that is a pretty penny for somebody who just became unemployed. Let me tell you, my credit card was not happy. So if you notice, I did pay for 36 months of web hosting, and I think I did that because they gave me a discount. I also got a registration coupon, and the stupidest thing I did in this process was buy my theme for $59. If you're just starting out, don't buy a theme. Use one of the free ones and learn how to work that. And let me tell you why I was stupid, because I don't even use it anymore. It was so hard to understand. I thought, oh, this thing's pretty. It has all these different options. And then I plugged it in my website, and they asked me to write code for each of those options. And I was like, Jesus, I need to get out of here. I don't like it here anymore. I used it. If you've been to my website before today, I used it for a good minute, and I kind of got a hang of it. But I had to get rid of it. I had to throw the whole theme away because it was so hard. And then it was like, it wasn't as intuitive as I thought it was after I mastered it, or I thought I figured it out. So I got a cheaper one that is so much more easier to use. And I got to remind myself, like, I am not starting at the beginning, but I am not a pro. I still got some things to learn. So yeah, don't pay for a theme. Use a free one. And I actually know somebody making bank using a free theme. So keep that in mind. Don't spend money when you don't need to. So as far as website builders and blogging platforms, the one you choose depends on what you plan on doing with your blog. Some hosting websites have blogging platforms ready to use once you purchase your domain. Bluehost is one of them. WordPress.org is the paid version, is the ultimate blogging platform. You can choose unlimited themes, but like I said, I suggest starting with a free one. My tip is the content is more important than the look of your blog, and this is absolutely true. Like when I say people are getting paid off of blogs using free themes, and think about it, when you go on Gmail, Google search, and you're looking up how to do something, how to use a mechanical keyboard, you're not really looking at the makeup of the website. You're looking at, how, or the content of the blog post. Like, I know there's a lot of, especially female bloggers who have these, pretty websites, but it ain't that serious. Like, if your content is consistent and it's actually informative, people don't care what your website looks like. That's just the real deal. And think about it. How many websites have you been to looking for information that you actually cared about what they look like? Not that many. Content is king. Content is important, and consistency is king as well. So on the next slide, these are some website builders and blogging platforms. I categorize them into free and paid. Like I said, there's more options on the extras page on my website. Again, everydayjanai.com/0 to 100. So we're not going to talk too much in that because we still have a good bit to go and I don't want to take up extra time. So how to make money on a blogging website. The keyword again is multiple streams of revenue. Like I said before, making money on YouTube and a website is very similar. But the one thing we must remember is they are not the same. And that's one thing that I went into this the second time around forgetting. YouTube and blogging are not the same and they have to be treated differently. So these are some stats on the next slide from millennialmoney.com. And if you are not thinking about starting a website, you might be now. So in certain niches, you can make between a cent to a quarter per page view, which means that if you have 100 page views a month, you can be making $10 to $25 per month. But if you have 100,000 page views a month, you could be making $1,000 to $25,000 per month. If that's not enough to make you want to start blogging, and then once you learn how to bring people to your website, the content is already there. It's already there. You've already done it. You just have to bring people to the website. That's it. And then look, straight cash.
JNai,
Straight dollar bills.
I'm not going to tell my boss this, but I think I'm done. I think we're going to start blogging. This is it right here.
I'm telling you. Let's start a movement. Quit your job. Let's all just go online. And then email. So we're going to talk about this later too. Email subscribers are very important as well. And let's go back to the last slide, Leo, real quick. You can make an average of $1 to $5 per email subscriber a month. 10,000 subscribers equals $50,000 a month. Isn't that wild?
That's crazy.
That is wild. All you need to do is put it out there and let people come. And then you just be making dollar bills. You just be rolling in the dough. There are bloggers making six-figure salaries working less than 10 hours a week. That is crazy. Like I said, it's doable. So on the next slide, we'll see that your number one payout is your email list. There are tons of classes, like classes you can buy, master classes on how to grow your email list. This is something that I definitely plan on investing in more once I have more consistent content and just more content in general. At least 25% of sales and most of repeat sales are going to come from people who subscribe to your email list. It can also give you leverage when making advertising deals because you own your email list. And you can be like, look, I know you want me to advertise this stuff to all these 10,000 people on my email list, but you got to bring in the dough for me to do that. And it's definitely a good thing to have. So the number 2 way to make money on your website is Google AdSense. This is where vlogging and blogging differ. So YouTube has YouTube AdSense, and websites use Google AdSense. YouTube AdSense differs a lot from Google AdSense because YouTube AdSense is kind of like they just do it for you. They add the ads on the videos before they play for you. Google AdSense, you have to add those ads into your website and your blog post yourself. It's not as hard as it sounds, but it does take the manual work to do. Yeah, similar to YouTube ads, but less intrusive. You can put your Google ads wherever you want on your website and blog posts. They cannot be added to YouTube videos. YouTube can also somewhat pick the ads that you display, which means that, so for an example, Amazon has kind of like a Google AdSense thing where you can pick ads to put on your website, and you can pick what those ads show. So let's say you wanted to put an ad for a free Prime membership free trial. You can pick that ad to put in there, or add to your website. You can do that. Or you wanted to sell, an Audible subscription. You can put an ad for an Audible subscription into your site. And it's kind of like the same thing. It's the same concept with Google Ads. It's just harder to qualify for Google AdSense. When I had my first blog, I immediately qualified for Google AdSense. So really, I think I did. I might have had to apply one more time. I've applied 3 times so far for Google AdSense because I know how to use it already, but I have not qualified yet. I read that you need to have 100 page views a day. And like I said, I'm averaging 2 to 3 page views as of right now. So like I said, content is king. You just got to put it out there, and then the opportunities will start flowing. Affiliate marketing is the number 3 way, and it's the same as YouTube, so I don't see any point in repeating it. The number 4 way is selling your own products. And you can sell your own products on YouTube, but as you saw, it was like t-shirts and cups and hats and mugs. It's like wearable merchandise or simple merchandise. On your website, you can literally sell everything. You can sell your own merchandise. You can sell classes and consultations. And bartenders, I am talking to you. Somebody needs to start a cocktail blog, because I'm telling you, it's not that hard to do this. You already know how to make cocktails. I'm sure you know how to teach people how to make cocktails. Y'all have trained people before. I've trained people before. You can do this, and you can sell it online. It does not have to be movie quality videos for you to show people how to do things. And then you don't even have to do it on YouTube. You can put it on your website and ask people to pay for it. Put your credentials. And I know a lot of you have more or better credentials than I do. I have 0 certifications. See, I have no certifications. Maybe I have, I'm wrong. I think I have a Patron certification. I am certified by Patron only. And if I didn't want to do tech anymore, you best believe I'm recording some cocktail classes and I'm selling them on a website, because that's something I already know how to do and I'm already known for, and it is instant money. Just, somebody needs to do this. Also, write a cocktail book and sell it on a website. Digital printouts make bank. I have a few friends making money off of cooking books or cookbooks, or just I have a friend who helps people build brands, and she sold like a 10-tip book. It wasn't even really like more than like 15 pages, but she sold it for $10. So if 10 people buy that, how much money is that? You could be making that a day. And then again, creating your online course to sell. There are websites that you can use to create kind of like classes. If you're not like doing individual classes and you want to do a course, there are a bunch of websites to help you do that. There is something I just remembered that I did not add places to get free music for YouTube videos on my my page on my website. So I will do that today, because I know a bunch of places to get free music and free video, or like free pictures and things for your website. So or websites, or even YouTube. So I'll add that to my website page today. So what to do before you record or write. you need to do your research. Now, this is kind of contradictory because you need to start and you need to start as soon as possible so you can start building content. But over time, you need to do your research. You can't keep doing the same thing over and expecting different results. And that was the problem that I had with my first blog. I kept just doing whatever I wanted inconsistently, and I was getting inconsistent, results. Um, so pay for classes, but start with what you can afford. If you can't afford any classes, then you better be using YouTube as much as possible, because all of the blogging information and the YouTube information that I'm giving you right now mainly came from YouTube videos and reading other people's blogs. Most of my time is spent researching rather than actually producing, which is why I have so little content now. Once I put something out there, I analyze it and figure out what I did wrong, and I research how to fix it, and then I fix it for the next time. There's a lot of free information on YouTube and other blogs to use it. Like I said, use that information, but you have to do your research. So things you need to research is your niche. And this is, like I said before you do anything, you need to figure out exactly what you are trying to sell or advertise to people. What are you representing? What do you want to be known for? How popular is your niche? If your niche is not popular on Google search, if it's not popular on YouTube, then how are you going to make money? If people aren't searching for it, how are you going to make them dollar bills? You're not, because nobody is looking for the content that you're producing. How are other people monetizing their content in your niche? You need to be doing your research on your competitors. You need to be figuring out how they're monetizing their content. What are they doing? Are they mainly doing brand deals, or are they buying and advertising products? What's going on there? And after you figure out your niche, you need to before you record or write anything, you need to do your keyword research. So the keyword, what am I trying to say? There's something I want to say before we read these. So keywords is how I figure out what kind of content to produce. So I may start with doing research on the keyword for technology or technology accessories, and then I'll find something in that keyword search, or like a tangent keyword, and I'll use that to create a blog post, because I already know people are looking for that. And I'll compare the results of how many people are looking for that to what kind of content that I need to produce. So keyword searches will show you how to title and word your videos and blog posts. See how people are actually Googling what they want to research. So let's say, pick something. I talk about tech. Let's talk about MacBooks. How to buy a MacBook with a discount, something like that. Think about how you type things into Google search. That's how you want to title your videos and how you want to title your blog posts. You want to title them how people are searching for them, because it'll make them easier to find, and it'll boost your SEO rankings, your search engine optimization rankings. And just never mind. Let's keep going. Well, because what time is it? Okay. A keyword search will give you an idea of what kind of videos to do, like I said, and it's most important for SEO. So in YouTube, you need keyword phrases in your title, description, and closed captioning. Basically, what this means is that when you do your keyword search, you need to be looking for keyword phrases. So let's say your keyword is technology. Then you need to look for keyword phrases like technology accessories, technology tips, things like that. And those are all the things you want to include, not only in your title, your description, but also your the things that you say. So I learned recently that the things that you actually say in a YouTube video are actually important for how you rank on the YouTube pages. And if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about when I talk about ranking, when you search for something on YouTube, the ranking is basically how the videos are aligned on that page, what pops up first. And the goal for YouTube is always to be number one in the rank search. For blogging, you need keyword phrases in your title and all throughout your blog post. So for Google SEO, your title, like I said, needs to be searchable. So how to or 10 tips or something like that, something that people will actually type into Google to find. And then you need to put a bunch of keyword phrases in the actual words that you use in your blog post. And that's the key to getting on the first page of Google. You need to have as many of those keywords and keyword phrases as you can in your blog post without seeming obnoxious. I'm not sure if I touch on SEO or the explanation of SEO. But basically, a search engine optimization is optimizing your content for the search engine. So basically, what you are doing when you're focusing on SEO is making sure that you're putting words and phrases in your blog posts and YouTube videos so that people are actually searching for what you're providing. Because you can write these really great YouTube or really great blog posts and record these really great YouTube videos, but you have to have those keywords in there in order for people to find you, because the words that you're using in your blog post might not necessarily be what people are typing into Google or typing into the YouTube search. And if those aren't aligned, then people will not be able to find you. So that's basically what search engine optimization is. But the thing about search engine optimization or focusing on SEO is that it has to be not only in your title of your blog post or your YouTube, it needs to be in your YouTube description. It needs to be in your blog post multiple times. And you need to actually say those keyword phrases when you're recording your video and use as many as you can. Also, I'm going to say this as well because I don't know if I'm going to be able to say it again. When you tag your YouTube videos, you need to have 10 to 20 YouTube tags, and they all need to be about the same thing. So if I recorded a video on Nintendo Switch, I like accessorize my Nintendo Switch. So my keyword is Nintendo Switch. My keyword phrases could be like customizing my Nintendo Switch accessories, pink and green Nintendo Switch. They need to all be about a Nintendo Switch so that all those people looking for those separate things can all come to this one video. And that's very important. So some website tools to use are, and this is for SEO. Again, very, very important. Ubersuggest, the keyword search tool. This is going to tell you how many people are searching for the things that you're, for the keywords that you're looking to use in your blog post or your YouTube. It will show you what words and phrases you need to use in your blog post and video titles. So this is where you get all those keyword phrases from, because it tells you once you search a keyword, it'll give you all the phrases that are associated with that keyword and how many people are searching for those. And that is how you choose what YouTube and blog posts to write. You don't choose what you want to write about. SEO chooses it for you. And that's very important, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I want to write a blog so I can talk about my 10 tips to do this. People don't care what you got to say. I'm telling you, if you don't have a following, people don't care about you. People only want to know what you can provide for them. And that's very important. Like, I want to write a blog post about like my top accessories for my iPad Pro. People don't care about what I like. They want to know what is great for a specific thing. So 10 iPad Pro accessories for productivity. I recently wrote a blog post about 15 budget home office essentials for productivity. Never make it about you. Always make it about what you can provide. So Ubersuggest helps you find content ideas. It also gives you backlink data, which is basically how many people are adding links to these pages to their other sites. vidIQ is specifically for YouTube. It gives YouTube SEO. It shows your channel stats and trends and keep track of your progress. So on the next slide, I think I show you my vidIQ stats. So when I screenshotted this, I had 1,419 YouTube views. I had 104 suggested views. And basically what that is like when you're watching a YouTube video and you see all the videos on the side, my video was in that category for whatever keyword that I used. And then I got clicks from 1,112 YouTube searches. I think the bottom one just gives more in-depth data, but this is just an example of how it'll look for your YouTube channel. And on the next slide is Ubersuggest, which is made by Neil Patel. So I researched the word cocktails, There are 135,000 people searching for cocktails on the internet. You can be making almost 50 cents per blog post click by talking about cocktails. Somebody needs to start this cocktail blog before I do. Look, it is hot. You can make great money talking about things that you already know. I'm talking to you, bartenders. Somebody needs to make this blog. I'm telling you, it needs to be done. On the next slide, there are some keyword ideas. So people are searching about cocktails. They're also talking about cocktail dresses, which is not our, forte, but you never know. They're talking about cocktail bars, cocktail sauce, although not our forte, but that's okay. They're talking about gin cocktails. That is the number one. Cocktails with gin. And I think that's because most people don't really know a lot of cocktails with gin. Cocktails with vodka, for our inexperienced drinkers. Movie cocktails. That's a good niche. Movie cocktails or cocktails movie. Oh no, that's talking about cocktails movie, but still, movie cocktails is a good niche. The next slide. These are the top ranked website pages for the keyword cocktail. Something with the Broadway in New York. Prosecco cocktails. This is a great example of a title. 10 Prosecco cocktails you can make in minutes. People ain't got time. People ain't got time to be making cocktails at home. Like, for example, when I just came up with a cocktail, smoked barbecue cocktail. I was thinking to myself, okay, I got time to be making. I don't have time to be making cocktails. So I'm sure people at home also don't have time to be making cocktails. So I'm going to look around my house, see what I have readily available, and see what I can do with those things. And people really liked it. I found some barbecue sauce that I already had. I threw it in and I made like a special barbecue syrup, and voila, smoked barbecue old fashioned. And it was delicious. And it took me not that much time because I wasn't worried about, going to the store. So we're not even supposed to be going anywhere. What do I have in my house right now? And that clearly is a popular thing with cocktails. So yeah, how to make 30 classic cocktails. I do not suggest doing that. I would break those up into different blog posts. The thing about content is not focusing on how much you can put into one article. This is a tangent. An example that I have is I was working on an article, and it was like 15 colorful accessories for your iPad Pro, because an issue that I have as a woman who loves accessorizing through color is a lot of really great tech accessories are not colors that I like. They're not pink, basically. So I was spending hours researching all kinds of different colorful accessories for my iPad Pro. And then it took me hours. And I'm like, I really need to break this up into different articles. So I'm going to do, 15 cases for iPad Pro, 15 colorful cases, 15 colorful Apple Pencil, cases, 15 colorful keyboards that go with your iPad Pro. It's about working, but working smartly as well. So I would not suggest that. But yeah, now also numbers is really popular on blog posts. Add numbers into your blog post titles. 10 this, 15 that. That's really popular. Still do your research. Some more website tools to use are some Google tools. Google Search Console shows you your website performance on Google. It tracks your site performance and can help you fix issues. Shows keywords used to find your blog posts. Google Analytics is for website traffic. It gives audience statistics, basically saying like sex, age, where they live. It tells you, where your audience is coming from, and it compares it to the statistics of your page views. Excuse me. So, like I said, number one is figuring out your niche. And this is a quote from one of my favorite teachers, one of my favorite YouTube teachers, is create search-based niche content around proven and profitable topics. So you want to create content that people are looking for and content that people are going to pay for. You don't want to put, like I said, you don't want to be talking about things that people aren't looking for because there's nobody's going to pay for it. You want to be talking about things that people want to buy. And I've heard this before, a saturated niche is a good niche because that means that people are making money. Like I said, I am not a tech expert, but I love tech. I love video games, and people are spending money on that, especially now. People are paying for those things. So I'm gonna learn what I got to do to sell them because I like them, and I know a lot of things about the things that I have bought. So I'm gonna do what I need to do to get in that tech game. The most successful blogs and YouTube channels serve one purpose. Like I said, you have to have a specific niche, and like I said, my niche is tech from a woman's perspective. It's tech accessories, organization, productivity, and just tech tips in general. You can start broad and narrow it down. That's fine as long as it's all about the same thing. And you can narrow it down based on consumer response and popularity. On the next slide, it talks about how popular is your niche. The more popular topic, the better chance you'll make a decent profit. Like I said, if people aren't searching for your content, then you're going to make less money. Follow the money. Follow the money. Follow the money. I don't care what you want to post. You need to post things that people are going to pay for if you plan on making money. Saturated markets are good. It means that producers will make great money. Figure out what makes you different in a saturated market. It is okay for you to do things that people have already done. Just put your spin on it. There are not a lot of Black women, or at least a lot of popular Black women in the tech space on YouTube. So I have that advantage from that perspective. So think about what makes you different. And mostly what makes you different is just being yourself. And that's the key for online content in general. Be yourself. Don't try to put on, a facade just to make some money or to try to copy someone else. Be yourself. Do it from your perspective always. So when you record, you need to capture your audience and deliver on your message. When you're making a YouTube video, in your YouTube video, you need to make sure the audience is captured within the first 10 seconds. What are you going to do to keep them watching? What's a good example? So let's say I'm talking about one thing I hate is clickbait. Like when people say, one example is rice water with natural hair. Women have been using rice water to get longer hair, and that's a bunch of girls on YouTube posting pictures of them like gaining 6 inches in a week. If I don't see you pulling your hair down your shoulder in the first 10 seconds, showing me all that length that you gained, I don't have time to watch the rest, because what's the point of me watching the process if I don't know that you actually did what you said you was going to do? So yeah, capture your audience and deliver on your message. Deliver on your caption within the first 2 minutes. Make sure that when you write something in the title, you actually do what you said. I am not a good person to follow on this because I have not done this in the past. I did a video on budget essentials, or doing a desk setup on a budget or under $500. I did not go under $500, but what I did do is give people a list of budget accessories that they could use they could accumulate for under $500. I needed all those things. Other people might not need all the things that I needed. So it's possible for them to spend under $500, and that was my logic. So when you write, before you post a blog post, you need to be thinking, is it wordy enough? Most Google rank pages have an average of 2,200 words, and you need to make sure you have keyword phrases in your title and throughout your post, and make sure your related posts are added. So it's the same concept with YouTube. When you post a YouTube video, you want to do everything you can to make sure they stay watching your content. If you're not familiar with YouTube cards, a lot of people in the YouTube space on their videos will be like, here's a related product to what I'm talking about now. I'm gonna put it up in the YouTube card so you can see that related product, and it'll be like a drop down link, a way to get people to watch your content or more of your content. And it's the same with blog posts. At the end of a blog post or inside a blog post, you want to put more blog posts related to what you're talking about so people stay on your website, because you never know. You might be advertising something on the blog post that they clicked on, but that's not exactly what they wanted. But you might have more content that they do want, so they end up spending money on that rather than what they came for. And is it visually appealing? Does your thumbnail match your site identity? You want your your website identity to be consistent. You don't want your pictures to be all over the place and of different things. You want it to all have the same aesthetic. Make sure it's easy and to understand and navigate. Did you check to see how it looks different on different formats, computer, tablet, and phone? A lot of my traffic on my website is from phones, so I need to make sure that when I post things on the website that it looks equally as good on the mobile format. So what to do after you record or write? Post, rinse, and repeat. Before you post, make sure you've added affiliate links, added ads throughout your post. For blogs, for YouTube, make sure you add cards like I was talking about, add an end screen. If you're not familiar with an end screen is, it's like you add a few seconds at the end of your video so you can post another video or a subscribe button for people to click on. And also link related videos in your descriptions. Add more videos in your description. People always read descriptions. For blogs, you need to make sure you've linked related articles, like I said before. When you post, make sure your video or blog live at times when you make your video or blog live at times when your target audience will read it. If you're targeting like 25 to 35, you need to post either when they get up or when they get off work. You need to post early in the morning, or you need to post between like 3 and 6 p.m. Share to all your social your platforms. Share to anyone who it might benefit from watching, who might benefit from watching it. This is harder to do because not everybody's comfortable with going into people's inboxes and being like, hey, I know you like this article that I wrote a long time ago. I wrote another one. I'd love for you to check it out. But sometimes that's the key to your success. This is important, which is why it's bolded. You need to advertise. You need to promote your blog post or YouTube as much as you can within the first 24 hours. I forgot the word. You need to promote your blog or video as much as you can within the first 24 hours, and then as much as you can in the next 7 days. This is mainly for YouTube because this is what I got the statistic for, but I believe this is true for blog posts too because a lot of their marketing strategies are the same. So here's some ideas of the best marketing strategies. Every social media platform has a different strategy. There isn't a one-size-fits-all option. And basically, I learned this from experience. So I went into this thinking that, okay, so I'm going to make YouTube videos and I'm just going to post those videos on my blog and then people are going to buy things. No, that's not how that works. People don't want to go to your blog post and see a YouTube video and that's it. You have to so for every YouTube that you create, you need a kind of like companion blog post. You have to treat them as separate entities and they need to be advertised as separate entities. On the next slide, it's all about SEO and when you post. So for YouTube, you need to learn how to become ranked and get on the first page for each video. It has the same principles as Google search for websites. People rarely click on the second page. I definitely don't. For blogs, most importantly, you need to learn a Pinterest strategy, how to grow your email list. Pinterest is essential for blogging. Stay on top of your Pinterest analytics. And I want to tangent back to the previous slide because I don't know when I'll get to mention this again. So when you post YouTube videos, you need to create a thumbnail specific for YouTube. When you post the companion blog post, you need to post it as if there were no YouTube video. They need to be treated as separate entities because they can't be marketed the same. They can be about the same thing, but they need to be a blog post about this and then a YouTube video about this. You can't use the same strategy for both. So a word on Pinterest. Pinterest is the silent website grower, and I'm going to go a little faster because we are already an hour and a half. Pinterest is the silent website grower. Before I would post and forget, Like I would literally post things and then post them on Pinterest, and that's it. I had no Pinterest strategy. And I never really used Pinterest marketing, but somehow had suddenly amassed 300 plus followers and was getting major page views. So Pinterest is the reason why I had 1,000 page views, because people were seeing my stuff and reposting it on Pinterest. And there were times where I'd go on Pinterest and I'd be like, Jesus, people really liked it that much? I'd have like 3,000 pins like in one day. And I'm like, geez, that is crazy. And as you can see, I have 58 monthly viewers still, 311 followers, and I'm only following people. But I only posted one of my recent blog posts on there. So all of those people are clicking on old blog posts with dead links. And it's all from my last post. And like I said, it's really about posting content. Once you put it out there, people are going to find a way to find it. I still get emails from people trying to advertise on my website. I still think about all the money I could be making from my old website. Like literally, if we go to the next slide, you'll see like all of these links, they lead to nothing because that website is gone. As you can see, I was talking about hair. I was even posting cocktail videos on there, or cocktail blog posts that are still pretty popular. The only one that's current is the 15 budget home office essentials. That's the only one for my new blog. I'm still getting emails at least once a week about my old blog. All you have to do is put that content out there, and people will just run with it, especially if it's good. Extremely if it's good. So best marketing strategies, use link shorteners to combine your platforms and make them more accessible. A lot of my traffic from my website comes from my link tree on Instagram. About a third of my combined traffic is from my link tree on Instagram, and it's free. Genius Link and Bitly are some other link shorteners that you might think of, or you may have heard about. Genius Link is for affiliates. Bitly is more of a general link shortener, but it also can help track your links. So my number one marketing tip is, like I said before, your readers and viewers don't care about you, only what you can provide for them. Unless you have a cult following, this is absolutely true. Don't make a blog and video titles about yourself. Don't name it my top tips, my routine for, no, you need to word it how people are Googling it or how they're searching in YouTube for it. Make it about what you can provide for your viewers. Another thing, don't be afraid to copy. If you're finding it hard to find your way or what to write or record, look at others doing well in your niche and use their methods as a guideline. And also, it's all in the title and the thumbnail. Like I said before, you need to have those keywords all up in your title, in your thumbnail, in your description, in your closed captioning, everywhere. Use vidIQ and Uber Suggest to find good content and an appropriate title. Make sure your content is on brand with your niche, but with your own personal twist. Dress for the job you want. Start small, but most importantly, start. Start small, but most importantly, start. As it only takes one YouTube video, it only takes one blog post. Just start. Try to create content that is more focused and complete with smaller channels. Don't chase after the giants first. If you plan on doing both blogging and vlogging, I'm telling you, they are two separate jobs. They are not the same thing. You can't treat them the same because of how Pinterest works and how YouTube works. You can't make a blog post into a YouTube video. You can't make a YouTube video into a blog post. They need to be made as separate entities. They require different posting and marketing strategies, but they can still be about the same thing. Each post will have to be geared towards the platform you are posting on, like I said. So this is a marketing tip. Add extra information on your website and advertise it in your YouTube video. So when you write your blog post, write things that you didn't mention in your YouTube video and vice versa. On your YouTube video, advertise your blog post on your YouTube video so people will click on your link. Then offer information in your video that's not provided on your blog post, so that you can add that video into your blog post and be like, for more information on this specific thing that I didn't talk about, go look at my YouTube video. So this is my current YouTube and blog strategy for everydayjnai.com. Each YouTube video will have a corresponding blog article on everydayjnai.com. I create them simultaneously, and this is the easiest way for me to maintain the two. I cannot have a separate blog schedule and a separate YouTube schedule and expect to be able to maintain those, because they're two different businesses, but in order for them or for me to maintain them equally, it's easier for me to make them about the same thing separately. Because when I'm finding information, I'm still finding information for both. When you separate them completely, you have to do different research for both platforms. So after I create my blog article, I publish that article first quietly, or I may go ahead and post it on Pinterest. Then I publish a YouTube video which advertises the blog post. Blog post will have extra information and purchase links. You always want to try to get the most money you can, so add more affiliate links. Then I add the YouTube video to the blog post, advertising it as a better explanation of the products. And then I post the blog article on Facebook. Then create a specific post for Pinterest. I think I'm going to change that. I think I'll post the Pinterest first with the initial post of the blog post, and then I update my link tree, which links to both posts, and I also curate a post specifically made for Instagram about them. But everything is ready to go before I do. But everything is ready to go before I do anything. I'm sorry. You want to have everything ready to go before you do anything. That way you're one and done. And a thing about Instagram, and this is a great analogy on how to separate YouTube and your blog. When I post my YouTube thumbnails on Instagram, I do not get a lot of views from that. But when I specifically curate an Instagram post for Instagram that advertises my YouTube and my blog, then I get exponentially more views, and it's a science. But like I said, you need to make a YouTube post, and then you need to figure out how to create that into a blog post. And then I made a normal Instagram post, and what I mean by that is I'm not using the thumbnail from my blog. I'm not using the thumbnail from my YouTube video. I'm specifically taking pictures and making an Instagram post, but also advertising on my other links. And that's how it works for, or how to, separate the YouTube and the blog. That's how you have to treat it. Because if you try to combine them, it's just going to implode. They have to be treated as separate entities. You have to play by Instagram rules, you have to play by blogging rules, and you have to play by YouTube rules. So some other resources and things to research. I promise we are almost done. Sean Cannell and Think Media is the #1 suggestion I have for YouTube content creation. They have a program called Video Ranking Academy, which is the paid masterclass that I am paying for. It has proven essential. I've added a lot of information from that class in here. If you have the funds, I definitely recommend checking that out. And these are just some other people and YouTubes and blogs that I follow. I'm not going to go any more on that. They are all on that page on my website with more information, and also all their YouTubes and websites are linked. One thing I will say is all of these people have a YouTube and a website. As far as doing your own research on your own time, these are some things that you should be researching. #1 is SEO, those keywords and those keyword phrases. Always remember 10 to 20 keyword phrases for YouTube. How to make money online, YouTube tips, affiliate marketing, and blogging tips. And just remember, it is a process, but it's a process you need to start. So this is almost the last thing that I have to say. I just want to quickly talk about the parable of the pottery class. I talked about it in the live on Instagram, but basically there is a pottery class. Half of the class is asked to make one piece of pottery for 30 days, and the other half of the class is asked to make one piece of pottery a day for 30 days. And who do you think had the better pottery at the end of the class? It was the people who produced more pottery because they had more practice. And that is the principle of creating content on YouTube and websites. You need to do it, and it might be bad at first, but you'll learn from your mistakes. And the good thing about it is that you're putting it out there. It doesn't matter if it's bad. Somebody might think it's really good. Like the content that I have right now, I don't think it's all bad, and I can do so much better. But it's already making revenue, So you need to start bad. Just start. That is all. If you need to remember anything from this class, just start. So quality over quantity. You want to be a better photographer, take 10,000 photos, better cook, make 100 recipes. be a better video editor, make 100 videos, make better cocktails, make 1,000 cocktails. Yeah, I already talked about me writing the colorful accessories blog, how I was like compiling this whole big thing. But the best thing is, instead of trying to combine everything at once, create it in, or like separate it into separate ones so that you get more content and it's more specific. Just start. Don't wait till you have all your ducks in a row. Just start and start messy. It takes nothing to throw a YouTube video together just to have something on your channel. Don't let fear stop you from doing something that can potentially change your life. If you put in time and work, plan, plan, plan. This is how I stay productive. Set attainable goals. Don't get caught up on blog views and subscriber count, because that's something that you can't control. Only focus on controllable goals. Set a sustainable schedule if you can. I cannot at this point with a 1.5-year-old, but I am trying. Hold yourself accountable. If you do not have an accountability partner, put it in the air. Post on Facebook, hey, I'm going to post this blog post on Friday, or I'm going to post this YouTube on Saturday. Make yourself accountable in some way. I often meditate and journal to clear my head because it is hard to come up with good content sometimes. So to kind of like start fresh, meditation and journaling is what I recommend. Record all of your random ideas so you don't run out, because a lot of my brilliant ideas have come randomly and I've lost a lot of good ones by not writing them down. So definitely write something down, or write everything down. Also, find ways to never stop being inspired. I am constantly watching other people's YouTube videos, to find out about new products or things I might like. So that's how I stay inspired. So for the last thing, I'm sorry this class was long. I told y'all I'm long-winded, but we made it. We made it, y'all. Thank you for staying around if you have. So my call to action for all of you is start today. This stuff is not hard. It is not hard to go online and pay for a domain. Domains cost between 10 to 20 bucks. I'm sure at least some of you can pay for that today. YouTube is free. Go ahead and start that YouTube channel today. You don't even have to post a video. You just need to start your channel. Do it today. There is something that you can do today from everything that I have talked about. Work on your business idea today. Work on that business idea. Create an email in your blog name and secure your socials today. Get all the socials together. Secure your domain. It's the least expensive part of building a website. $10 to $20. I think I forgot how much mine was. It was $11 or $12, I think. And also check everydayjnai.com /0 to 100 for more info. I have put a lot more detailed information on that page for you, because there are so many things that I couldn't get in this hour and 45 minutes. But that is it. Thank you for making it this far. If you have, I hope you have learned something. If you need to reach out to me for more clarification on things that I have said, please feel free. Reach to me on Facebook at JNai Williams, Instagram at JNai.Angel, or on Instagram at everyday.JNai. That is my blog Instagram. Let me know. Go to look at my website, look at all my other pages, buy some stuff. Use some of those affiliate links on my page, because those will help me out in producing more content. But thank you guys for sticking around if you did.
Well, I mean, I already know what my next career is going to be. I've taken all the notes. I'm going to the website, so this is great. But there's a couple questions that came in that
Okay.
maybe if you don't mind answering real quick. So one of which I know you talked about planning a little bit. This one is, do you use any planning software or calendars to help keep you organized?
Let me think. So I am not great at staying organized. Like I said, my current work schedule is not sustainable. It might sound like a good idea, when I have that free time to do content. I'm doing what I gotta do. My main thing for staying consistent is just doing work every day. I set a goal and then I work until I achieve it. My goals as of right now with my schedule, I don't set dates, which is bad. And I think that's my main problem right now. I need to come up with a better schedule, and I'm working on it. But I just set a goal. I don't set a date, an end date or anything. I set a goal and I continually work on to that goal every day. And then once I reach that goal, I set another goal. And that's what I do to keep myself kind of accountable, or at least consistent. That's how I maintain my consistency. I can't I can't do it. I cannot, I've tried it. Trust me, when I first tried this, I planned out a whole month of content, but I can't do it. I can't. I just keep working until I complete what I set out to do.
And I think, starting with any goal, whatever it may be, because not everybody has the time or the bandwidth or the understanding to do all this. But if you start with a goal, at least you're achieving the goal. And then from that point, you grow a little bit more, and then you figure it out as you go along. So that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And then a couple more. So do certain kinds of posts do better than others? I guess this is situational, I'm guessing, but.
Say it again, I'm sorry.
Do certain kinds of posts do better than others?
I think that falls along the lines of like posting what you think people want to see. So the short answer is yes. And it's basically, so a popular thing to do, and a thing that veteran YouTubers and bloggers tell people to do, is do things that are popular in the moment. So challenges are really popular these days. If you're just starting YouTube and your YouTube niche allows you to do challenges to get your name out there, challenges is a great way. They do really, really good. Also, it's also about experimentation. So as far as my YouTube goes, my videos, my most popular video that has 4,000 views is me talking about buying my MacBook Air on a budget. And that tells me two things. I need to make more MacBook videos, and I need to make more budget technology videos. So it's just about analyzing your results too. And just like looking at what's popular in your niche. Like I said, don't be afraid to copy, but also you need to cater it to kind of like your fan base size or your follower size. So there might be, best such and such. The number one video has like 100,000 views. Well, you can't compete with that, but you can compete with somebody who has 10,000 views or 5,000 views. So try to look at what the big people are doing, but kind of cater it to where you're making a video not about exactly what they're making, but something adjacent that can get you more views.
Got it. And then one last question. How much do you interact with your viewers or your readers, or both?
There aren't that many. There are not that many. Let me tell you. So the money that I have made are for people, and I forgot to say this, most of the money that I have made so far, because my page doesn't get that many views, most of the money that I have made is off of YouTube so far. Like I said, YouTube is the easiest to start as far as making money, but over time you can make more money on your website, at least passively. So those people are watching my video, and I'm sure you all do this too. You watch videos and then you go on there, it's like, oh, I like that thing. Let me click on that link. And then you just get rid of the video. That's how, my money has been made so far. But as far as interacting with my viewers, you need to stay on top of your like follower engagement. Every time somebody posts, I'm on top of it. I'm either replying that day or at least within the first 12 hours, because that's how you remain consistent. And that's something that I learned from taking a YouTube class, is that you need to connect with people who are actually watching you. And I've actually gained some followers that way, by replying to comments and providing extra information that people ask me for.
Awesome. Well, thank you for all that. Thank you for all of this. This is a lot of information. If we can just put up the website one more time, Everyday JNai. This is great, and I think especially for bartenders that are at home right now that want to learn how to do something different, or like how to again create another revenue stream. This is awesome. So thank you for doing that. A quick shout out, thank you to Portland Cocktail Week and Distance Learning for continually having all these conversations and new things for people to understand and learn while they're here. And then you can follow us at Campari Community as well. Next week, starting on Monday, is Negroni Week, so it's going to be a really, really fun week. We've got a couple really fun sessions with the Portland Cocktail Week as well, so tune into that. And next week, also because it's Negroni Week, the nature of the charities next week are all about hospitality industry, all about anybody in the business, the bars and restaurants that need the support too. So make sure that you sign up and tune in for that as well. So JNai, thank you very much. Appreciate your time. I learned quite a bit,
Thank you.
for sure.
Thank you. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Daniel. This was great.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
All right. Bye, everyone.